Okay, I think we're good to go. Yeah, we can go.
Okay. Well, I saw your games from the style that
Oh,
you sent me. Uh, yeah,
I
well, it was a good tournament, but still,
I choked.
um, you know, well, but your opponents were
Yeah,
pretty strong to be so little. I mean,
yeah,
I really loved with the game that you annotated that your opponent was a very young girl who
yeah.
told you that Dubov played this.
Yeah, this kid's
What is
that's
come
something that's something
on?
that like high level players who she's like, because it's not even like it's kind of an obscure line that's not popularly played. It's been played in the database like 3 times, and she's like, after the game, she's like, oh, I remember. Daniel Dubov played this in like the 2013 European Championships. Then, and she actually not just remembered the game, but she had actually um, like analyzed it and went down and kind of prepared this line, which I thought was crazy, because I could understand it if she's like 2100 or something, but oof,
To be honest, when I saw the game, I thought, come on, D5 has to be losing here.
uh,
Huh? So
yeah.
it
Oh,
just cut for a second there.
okay. Is it okay
Yeah.
now?
Oh, okay, now I hear
Okay.
you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was second there. Yeah. When I saw the game, I actually laughed because I thought, come on, D5 has to be losing here, and
Uh,
well, the Bob played it,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the girl
yeah.
knew it.
I
The girl
guess,
knew it.
yeah, I guess it just makes the position really, really sharp and wild, and it's almost it kind of reminds me a little bit. It's kind of like forcing back the Marshall. Anyways, right?
Yeah,
Even though I played the anti Marshall, it's like okay, I'm going to do it anyways.
yeah, you weren't supposed to be able to play the Marshall after A4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, people are armed to the teeth, apparently. uh, well, I saw some of the games, and well, from your comments, I gathered that you're having some trouble when you have to calculate in defense. Well, it's not a strange thing. Everyone has problems to calculate on defense because we tend not to be objective. I mean, um, when we are being attacked, we think, well, this is it. I'm not going to survive this, and it's really tough to collect yourself and try to just coldly calculate if you survive or if you don't. uh, for example, there's a game where you say you were kind of worried about the knight takes g4, and
Uh,
uh, that's I think it was I don't know if the third or the fourth game. Well, some comments of that style, and some of them were phantom threats. Some weren't, some not. But well, we already talked about the phantom threats. Uh, the only way to, well, not cure, but to reduce that tendency um, uh, to just discard a move on a general basis, or just to be afraid of a move because it looks like it's dangerous. Uh, well, the only thing to actually avoid this stuff is by doing tactics and analyzing a lot. No way around it. Uh, well, you are working with the woodpecker method.
yeah. That's a lot
Yeah.
of work, man.
Yeah, it's hard work.
Yeah.
uh, it pays off. You're going to notice that it does. I mean, it's tactics training of the of the highest order, because they are all world championship games. uh, yeah, that's going to work. Here I said, instead of going through the games, which you annotated quite thoroughly, um, I thought about doing a thematic lesson on calculating when you are on the defense.
Okay.
An ungrateful task. but it saves a lot of points and it actually wins a lot of games because the fact that you're being attacked doesn't mean that you're worse. Uh, your opponent is also taking up some important risks when he's attacking. I mean, either he gives a piece or he gets his pieces in awkward positions if the attack fails. Uh, so you should bear in mind that he also is taking some risks. Well, maybe not in this position. We are in chapter 40, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I kind of
I really
noticed.
like this example. Yeah,
Yeah. So I was just going to say, I noticed that when I play kids, I've really noticed that they really like to attack compared to adults. And they're not
yeah,
scared. They're not scared. Like they will open up the position and start throwing stuff at you. Yeah. So I've noticed that. So I've lost a lot of games that way.
the yeah, they're oblivious to the dangers of the attack. I mean, if they are a piece behind, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't
And
care.
it's a strange advantage, but it is an advantage because they are fearless.
Yeah.
it it's a yeah, it can turn to their advantage. We are more conscious of the dangers.
Hmm.
uh, well, what do you think about this position? It's black to move. Uh,
Okay,
there are some danger.
I didn't look at it, but can you hide the move? I'm not sure if I can see the move. I didn't look at it, but
B7.
I can see the move list.
That's
You
strange.
should be able to hide it unless the last move was rook.
Uh,
Uh,
Now
what
you see
I
that?
see it, but the last move I see. Well, okay, sorry. What chapter? I'm on chapter 40.
Yeah, I'm in chapter 42, and
So
it's
I
yeah, I have
see.
the option hide the next moves.
Yeah, well, I see.
That's
I
strange.
see. Like, are we on move 4?
Oh yeah, we are on move 4.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
okay, okay.
Uh,
So I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
see beyond.
Uh,
I only see the last move was rook h6.
okay, then that's good. Yeah, this was an actual game.
Okay.
Two grandmasters, and it's quite clear that white is on the attack. uh, Rook takes h7, rook h1, rook h6, knight e6 at some point. They all seem like very strong threats. And on the other hand, it's not easy to continue as black because you can, if you want to break through on c2, you have to give up the bishop on e5, and that's probably suicidal. Bishop takes, for example, rook takes c2, and now what would you play here?
Hmm. I'm wondering if we could play rook takes h7. Because then if
There's a
king.
tactical problem with rook takes. If king takes, rook h1 is decisive
Yeah.
because next queen takes g6, but
Okay. Let me think. Oh. Okay. Forget it. Yeah. Okay. I thought I looked at it and then you can just
yeah.
go on c1. Okay. Yeah. Rook c1. Okay, so
Yeah.
a different move. Oh, can we just trap the rook with bishop c3 maybe?
I think that's a valid approach. The rook has to go probably to g2, f2, but then rook takes h7 looks strong. And if you give up this change,
Well,
yeah, you probably
well,
don't have enough
yeah. Well, I'm looking at
compensation.
even
Yeah.
possibly queen c1 after. Oh, then he's got queen. No, then
Uh,
he's got queen c2. I see. Then it's mate in 2. Okay, I got it.
yeah. Uh, yeah, you could try to trap the rook. I mean, he has to give up the exchange, of course, because otherwise you're going to play queen d4. That's
Uh,
it. Uh, this should be winning. I mean, this should be probably more than enough uh, for white. Um, yeah, rook hf1 and then rook c1, and you enter c7. It should be enough. There are still some practical problems to solve, but it's clearly not the way for black. Uh, White could also just go queen e3, for example. You take control of one and b2, and yeah, that's probably it. I mean, queen h6 is coming, and I don't see a good way of stopping all the threats. So, well, quite clearly, black is in some sort of trouble. If you want to reinforce your attack on the c2 pawn, you have to give up the dark square bishop, and that's just too much. You're going to get checkmated before white does. Um, so black had a difficult task in front of him. And he decided to play queen b7 because he calculated the following. I'm not going to make you calculate from this point on because well, it's a task for Grandmaster probably because it's very tough. So we're going to advance some moves. After queen b7, what do you think is, well, the move is right up there. But, well, as far as we saw, the critical try is rook takes h7. Now, well, black is threatening to take on d5, and going back with the knight doesn't seem that great. So rook takes h7 was the critical try here. Rook h1, king g7, only move, otherwise queen takes g6 is check. And now rook h6. And this was a critical moment. I mean, this is the moment where you have to calculate if you get checkmated or if you have any defensive resources. So from this point on, I will give you a few minutes to ponder what are
okay.
the candidate moves you should be looking for.
Okay. I'll state my thought process out loud. So the first thing before you even finished your sentence was I was looking immediately at bishop e8, but then I thought knight e6. But I shouldn't end my calculation there. So let's say bishop e8, knight d6 or knight e6. Yeah, so possibly king g8. King g8. Okay, and then if rook takes, bishop takes, queen takes, that looks like we're getting mated there. If I go, uh, yeah, that has to be mate. So that doesn't seem to work unless, let me just look at it again. Bishop e8, knight e6. If I go instead to okay, I doubt this would work, but if I go to king f6, rook, yeah, king f6. Um,
I'm sorry,
that
what is that variable
sorry,
that you
I'm
cut
looking.
for a
I'm
second
looking
there?
at. Uh, I'm looking at this check, and then
Bishop e8,
yeah,
knight
this
e6.
didn't
Yeah.
seem to work. So now I'm looking at, but then I think simply, uh, check looks pretty bad because we're going to have to go here, and then he's going to take this. So I think, whoops. So I think this is out and this is out. Um, and if I go to king f8, oh sorry, I can't. I can't go to king f8. So yeah, so because of that, I don't think we can play this. So I'm looking at alternative moves. Although I don't think there's a whole lot of alternative moves. Okay, I wonder though. Let's just say white got a free move, and white does take. Does he have actually a mating threat? So I have to go to C8 or F8, and because my bishop is covering H8, so I'm wondering how would white continue here actually. So I guess we could say maybe rook H7, which might be a problem. Yeah, that might. Let me do this again. So, wait, what was my first move? I already forgot.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
That's interesting. You already ruled out bishop e8, which is fine because 96 seems to be too powerful. And you are looking for more candidates. Yeah, you're right. Queen takes g6. We still have to see what the follow-up by white would be. Queen takes d5 is an interesting try because you also put g8 and f7 under cover. And what happens if white just goes on and play knight f5 check?
Okay, so it's interesting because if we actually take, I don't know if this is enough, but we got a lot of firepower on C2 there, threatening creating a discovery and then possibly something here. So, okay, let me look at this again. So you're saying, whoops, sorry, can you go forward? You're saying if...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Queen takes.
Yeah, and then you're saying if white goes knight f5.
Knight f5 check.
Yeah, so if knight f5 check, yeah, I mean, just instinctually, I'm thinking of taking it with the bishop.
Yeah, the only chance. You need all the pieces you can get if you're going to sack the queen. And queen takes d5.
Yeah, so again, my instinct was to go rook takes c2 just because that discovery is really good. And I'm looking for a follow-up move by white. I'm looking for a check, but I don't see one. Not a good one anyways. Yeah, I don't see a good one. Okay, it's possibly... I'm wondering if we can go rook h7, trying to get a perpet. Rook h7 takes, and then it might be. Oh, it's actually dangerous there. Then he has queen f7. But we still have a bishop, I think. So can't we go bishop g7? And then I think he's out of checks there.
Excellent. Yeah, that's a great calculation.
Yeah, and then if white plays
you're right.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what we would do after that, like because it's white's turn again. What if he plays like c3? But
well, you already took on c2.
Oh, I already took on c2 there. Okay.
Yeah, because bishop takes, queen takes, rook takes c2 right now.
Right. Okay.
It's just so many threats.
Yeah.
This is checkmate. This is also quite strong. Yeah, it's not like he has any options.
Yeah, those two bishops and 2 rooks can't ask for more than that.
Only take one at a time, said down.
Yeah.
It takes, rook takes, and at the very least, well, he has to give up the queen at the very least. So, rook d2 is even more powerful here. No, I'm sorry. He has rook takes, and I'm hanging a queen takes.
Wow! Yeah. Check.
Just a check. But that's his only check, and I ran into it.
Yeah.
So rook b4. Yeah. Now this is enough. Now it works. So yeah, knight f5 check doesn't work for white, but white has a very nice resource in that variation you mentioned. And it's an important resource because it appears in, well, it could appear in more than one line. It's a threat actually by white. White, this is white to play and win basically.
But not knight f5.
No, knight f5 fails.
Okay, so I forget if I calculated this before, but let's look at queen takes g6, king f8. I think it looks like that's what I was kind of looking at before to see if white had a free move. Yeah, so let's just say queen takes g6, king f8.
And then you have a mating pattern. This queen of g6 takes up almost all the squares that were available for the king. So there's a checkmate actually there.
I'm wondering if we can clear up room for the bishop to come in on h6. So maybe rook g7. I don't know if we have time for that. So queen takes g6, king f8. Even I'm thinking possibly even just give a check, and if we take, then yeah, the bishop has this square, and that looks like a mate there.
Yeah, exactly. You have to your h6 with tempo. That's the point. And well, a very good chunk of the work you have to do here is done when you see this this variation and this mating pattern, because it's actually what white is threatening, and it's something that you have to be aware of at any time and at every point in your calculation. So yeah,
I've noticed something.
Checkmate.
I've noticed something that often when I calculate, once I look maybe 3 or 4 or 5 moves ahead, and I see something that is bad, like in this example, it was, oh, sorry, can you just move ahead where it was, okay, well, yeah, because I can't move. Well, but if you can move ahead where it was,
this variation,
yeah, this one where queen takes g, yeah, and then king f8. Yeah, here I would and I still do this sometimes after rook h8. I will immediately stop my calculation because I'm like, oh, he can't go there because he loses the rook, and I don't bother to look beyond that.
Yeah,
it's kind of it's hard to know when to stop.
Yeah, I mean it's until the forcing moves are exhausted, you and you have a really clear a position that you can evaluate, because there's no more piece contact, there are no more threats. Yeah, that's the time to evaluate and stop calculation. Of course, it's hard to tell when there are no more threats, because this is not at all evident if you have to calculate this beforehand. This idea of rook h8 and bishop h6, well, there's the mating pattern there. So if you keep asking yourself, is there anything else more in this position, you might encounter this idea of rook h8. But it's hard to spot. I mean, it can easily be overlooked, even by very strong players. With that knowledge that this idea is actually available, you really need to do something about it. That's a threat.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a real threat.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying. That's why I was trying to defend it.
You already examined, well, the direct way of defending it,
Yeah,
which fails.
yeah,
You're right. It's just too much
yeah.
to
That's
let the
why I
knight.
was wondering if we could just if we had time to just play something like King F8, get out of the check right away. But I wonder if it's the same problem. Let's say King F8, and let's say a check, and and if we do take, I'm wondering if like still well, we might be okay there because then
And that,
we're defending G6.
yeah, he needs the queen to be on G6 if he's going to check on H6 probably. So if
Yeah, so I was just
uh,
looking at, yeah, so King F8, and if
he
queen
probably
takes,
takes, yeah.
and yeah, so here I was thinking the next threat would be again. Oh no, would it just be the same? It'd be the same thing. Yeah, so the next threat would be again this. So that might not work. So King F8, Queen takes, but the difference here is we get one move. We get a move here, but uh, wonder almost if
Yeah,
we
it's still
could
hard to do something about the rook.
take here. I guess bishop takes
Still
and
doesn't
then
solve
he's
the
got
problem.
that. Yeah. Okay.
This bishop is on the way, actually, because queen f8 is checkmate thanks to this bishop that is blocking uh, the black king escaping road. But still, with a king on f8, you still can't play bishop e8 because knight e6 is checkmate. So uh, it's a big problem for black. King f8, queen takes g6, and apparently there's no way of preventing rook h8 and bishop h6. Uh, so here's the moment where you really need to do something about this threat of playing rook h8 after taking on g6. You need an extra defensive piece on the king side.
Okay, so let's look at the very weird move of rook h8. If he trades rooks and then takes the pawn, I think then I could just take his knight. So I don't think that's going to be enough for him. He's going to have too few pieces, I feel. So rook h8. If he goes queen takes g6, we have to go king f8.
And that's the same, yeah. Rook takes and bishop comes here.
Oh,
To
it's the same
yeah.
thing. Oh, it's the same thing. Ah, it's the same thing.
It's a really problematic threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, the idea to bring the rook is
Oh yeah.
makes
So
sense. You
what
need
about I'm looking at rook g8, queen take g6, king f8. And now we have some shelter for the king. Let's say then rook g7. Wait, no. He can't. His queen is hanging. Yeah. So his queen is hanging, and he doesn't have a great spot for the queen. It looks like we're kind of out of the woods there. We might need to look at knight e6 check. But take and then take and then e takes or d takes. It's a little scary, but we might even be able to just simply step over to king e8 there. Oh no, our rook is hanging, right?
So rook g8.
Yeah.
So rook g8, queen takes g6.
Yeah.
King f8.
Yeah, and then
That's the position.
Yeah, then I was looking at knight e6 check. And then
bishop e6.
Bishop e6. I guess queen. Okay, so the queen is under fire.
Well,
Sorry.
if he takes with the pawn,
Yeah.
the queen is falling. Yeah. So he has to take with the queen. Queen takes c6. And well, we have an extra rook there, and he's not even threatening anything. So it looks good for you.
Yeah. And now c2 was open.
For example, queen c8, and we even get to trade the queens. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, yeah, I was just looking. Yeah.
That looks good for you.
Yeah, and his dark squared bishop doesn't really help him anymore because the king is escaping.
On
And
the side, you have a possible defensive.
yeah, that's kind of a strange looking defense, but it makes sense. Rook g8.
It's the only try at this point. Yeah, and it's a very good one. It's really weird. You can only hit a move like this after calculating that the other fails. The other tries fail because of this of queen takes g6 followed by rook h8. That's the only way you can buy with a move like this because you want to have the rook on the king side so that you can run, and this rook is actually a great defensive piece. And as you said, if queen takes, then you're running away. Yeah, you're running away with the extra rook actually, and you're hitting the queen, so he has to do something about it. And you're also threatening the knight. And if knight here, check, knight e6, bishop takes, he has to take with the queen. That's it. He no more firepower. Give me that queen, I'm a rook up, and then it's an easy win. Of course, this is not all forced. He can take with the queen, but he can also take with the rook,
Yeah.
which is still pretty challenging. It's still challenging enough. Where do we go from here?
Well, there's only two moves that I'm looking at. Yeah, I think we have to go king f7. We don't want to get checked by that bishop. Yeah, so I would say king f7. And I'm looking for a move for white. But I don't see a good one. Let's say rook takes. And we'll say king takes. And I was thinking if queen g6, bishop g7, and okay, he's got some threats of bishop h6, but it's our move now. So let's just run that again. King g7, rook takes, king takes, queen g6, and I have other moves here, but I was looking at bishop g7, and bishop h6. Well, that's actually pretty scary because I don't know how we're getting out of that. Okay, so let's say instead of bishop g7, looks like I have to run to king f8, and then it's a mate again.
We're running to the same mate.
Yeah.
Only one choice.
No, but I can't go king. I can't go king h8. That's wrong. So what would that be, a perpet then? Because then queen h6 check, that has to be a perpet.
Yeah, he's running out of steam there. I mean, there's no more. There are not enough pieces, I guess. If he goes rook takes, king takes, queen check, then your bishops are great defensive pieces. Anytime this knight wants to create some threats, you eliminate the knight, and this bishop takes control of the dark square, so he has no more than a perpetual here. But you still have to be precise. I mean, accuracy is important here because king f7 actually is a losing move.
What?
Yeah, there's a very strong blow for white here. A bit unexpected, actually, but there's a very strong move. It creates many strong threats.
I don't think this is it, but I was just looking at the idea of no, that can't be it. I was looking at rook h6, but I don't think that works for many reasons because king can just go to e8. Let me think.
Yeah, he can run already. Yeah.
I'm looking at knight e6 because suddenly we're opening up this the c5 or the f5 square for the queen. So knight e5, or sorry, knight e6, and if bishop takes,
Bishop takes.
yeah,
Pawn takes.
yeah, and yeah, and then we're in trouble
Only move
there.
there.
Yeah, king f8, and then queen f5, and then we're losing the rook and we're getting mated.
Yeah,
Right?
there's still bishop f6.
Okay, but we lose. Okay, bishop f6. Oh, I'm trying. Okay, I lost track here. So sorry. Okay, so knight e6, bishop takes, pawn takes, and king f8, queen f5 check, bishop f6.
One more check and he's done.
I'm wondering if rook can take now, and then the queen can slide into g6.
Yeah, but there's still this.
No,
check,
I'm saying the rook takes. I'm saying the rook takes there.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
takes.
yeah, and then I'm saying queen g6. So
yeah, and then we have to go to.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
He seems to be safe when he can play king h7 after this change of rook because this bishop just defends all the dark squares and seems to be enough. But still, after knight e6, you still have many attacking pieces. Bishop takes, the knight d takes e6 check, king f8, and the king is kind of overloaded. I mean, it's the only defensive piece for this rook on g8. So queen f5 looks good. Bishop f6, and then only one more piece by white should enter the battle, and it's the end of. It's the end of black's defense there after bishop f6. Just one more check. Actually, the check you were scared of.
the check. I mean, the only thing I can see is him sacking the exchange, but that doesn't seem to work at all. I don't know what else.
There's one piece by white that still has to take part in the attack. The queen is here,
Yeah.
the rook is already here, you have a pawn on e6.
Yeah.
So what other piece by white should be participating in the attack?
Yeah, but I don't see a check. Like
you have this bishop here doing nothing.
I know, but where our king is on a light square here. Or did we move it? Did we go back to f8?
No, it's here.
It's on f8, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot. Okay, so yeah, so knight e6.
Now that check is possible.
Take, and then okay. Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Now you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I kept looking for. I was waiting for that bishop to play, but I forgot that our king is on f8 here. Okay. Yeah. So we can't. So we actually can't go to f7.
This 96 is so strong. You can take because
well, I'm looking at queen. No, queen over.
this is sort of the point of 96. That's a nasty fork.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, on we used to have a knight d8.
Yeah, and it's not enough compensation for black. I know he has the two rooks. They're totally uncoordinated, and you are 2 pounds up, and this king is totally open, which is pretty important when there's a queen on the board. So this is losing for black. So actually, the mistake here after rook takes g6, well, it seems like black is in real trouble now because if he can't go king f7, which is the most natural, uh, then he should be losing, apparently. But still, you have to check king f8. I know it looks weird, but we still have to check it.
Isn't it the same deal though? Like bishop h6. I guess here now we can actually come back with the bishop to defend. Bishop g7.
Bishop g7. Is that possible?
Well, we might be in trouble. We might be in trouble maybe after 96 check, because then the
bishop takes,
and then queen f5.
D takes first because there's still a bishop. The bishop is still defending. D takes. Yeah, and queen f5 is a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a pretty serious one. I was also looking at this. I don't know if it works, but it looks like this looks strong also. Yeah, it might be too much to handle. Yeah, I don't see a good way of defending against.
It's a weird move.
Queen takes and queen f8.
Annoying.
Yeah, everyone's coming to the party.
Yeah, it's an annoying move. Because it's like the queen that shouldn't be able to play a move like that.
Yeah. It should be banned.
Okay,
still, we can only play to f7 because the rook is hanging. And now, what's going on now? Can we still play c6? That's the big question because otherwise black would be doing fine. But this should be the critical test.
I wonder though, now we might be able to even allow that fork. I don't know if we're getting more material this time. If rook takes check, let's say king here, and if takes and takes, and we're threatening mate there too. So here we would have two rooks and two bishops against a queen and a knight. That looks pretty good for black, I think.
That's the whole point. The bishop is now hanging on h6 after all this variation, which is amazing. I mean, if you're able to calculate this, I mean, wow. Then now that actually king f8 lures the bishop into checking on h6, which is kind of funny because we would normally be so scared of bishop h6 check.
Yeah.
But now you actually get, well, now black is winning actually with two bishops and the two rooks only for this queen and knight, then it's too much material. And yeah, actually black can defend like this. That's the conclusion that black drew from his calculations. And so he went queen b7. Yeah, he saw all this beforehand. uh, which is pretty impressive, I must say.
Yeah, there's a lot to look at there.
Yeah, you can only find these moves step by step. I mean, if you panic here, then you're toast. After rook h6, it seems like black's position is just being torn apart. But rook g8 is just such a cool move. But finding moves like this is possible, but you have to be on the lookout for extra resources. I mean, you came by rook g8, or first you came by the idea of bringing the rook with rook h8. But only after you fail, you notice that bishop e8 and queen takes d5 fail, which are the most natural uh, defending attempts. And I'm sure that black looked at queen takes and bishop e8 first. It's they are the moves that we'll look at most likely. Uh, Only then you notice that, well, if he's going to checkmate me with queen takes and rook h8 and bishop h6, then I absolutely need to bring one more piece or something else. And then you trying to run away with the king, but provoking some exchanges. And this is the critical moment. I mean, this is the absolutely critical moment. When you notice that rook g8 is your only defensive try, then you're on the right track. Of course, it's really difficult to notice that you have to go to f8 here, but
Yeah.
uh, again, when you notice that knight e6 is a resource after king f7, then you have to look at the other one and see if things change. Uh, of course, this is extremely difficult, but it kind of shows how often there are more defensive resources that we suspect, and we tend to be too scared of attacks. The attack also has its drawbacks. I mean, it's a risk for the one who is throwing everything at you. Often he has to give up material, and very often his attack just comes to a halt, and then it's your time to counterattack. In many variations, that could happen.
It's like counter punching.
But yeah, Black used a lot of interesting defensive resources. I mean, he brought another piece to the defense, always important. Uh, in some lines, he gives material back just uh, to reduce White's attacking potential. I think the game ended with a draw. White also noticed that 96 didn't. I mean, Bishop h6 followed by 96 didn't work out, so it ended up in a draw in this variation. And well, now you really need to give the perpetual, otherwise, well, you don't have enough material to win this. Uh, it was a tough defense. I mean, this queen b7 was really hard to notice, but the only thing that can get you out of a situation like this with success is, well, concrete calculation. uh, Let
So I
me
wonder
go to
if,
this one.
do you think it
Yeah,
must, in a way, I would argue that it actually takes more calculation to defend than it does to attack.
yeah, and it's harder because it's your head that is on the line.
Yeah.
uh, and it's easy to panic. It's very easy to panic uh, and to just try to get by with general considerations. But that actually is more dangerous because it's so easy to hang a piece uh, or not to notice a kind of obvious threat. Uh, when you're defending, yeah, calculations are needed. You you always have to keep in mind that there might be more defensive resources that jump to the eye. Uh, of course, you see the position, you see the initial position, and it looks like you're getting mated. in 2 or 3 moves. But then you actually see that you have some counterplay on the queen side, and that you can bring pieces back to defense, and well, all that's left is calculated. Well, as if that what I say it as if that was easy. That isn't easy, but but yeah, you. What I mean is that often there are many defensive resources that we just miss because we are not in the mood to defend.
Yeah,
That's something that happens.
it takes a lot of
Uh,
work. And it's
yeah,
not fun to defend. It's fun to attack, but it's not fun to defend. It's work, right?
yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's worth thinking about it more like counterpunching. I
Mm,
mean, you're waiting for your chance, and you want your opponent to prove that his attack is strong enough.
mm,
It's like telling him, "Okay, you think you're attacking? Give it a go.
yeah.
Let's see how it
So,
works out. And
Petro-
now, if you make a mistake, I'm going to punish you.
yeah.
It's my turn now."
Petrosian.
That's the right attitude, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Try
Yeah.
to attack the Trojan and see how that goes. You know that game against the fire where he plays his king to C6
Oh, I
in the
don't.
middle of the fire of what is that?
The,
Wow, he won that game against the Sparks.
must have been because they were playing at the same time. Tall, and Petrosian. They must have had games together, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I think Petrosian did very well.
because that's the two opposite players, right? So that must be those must be
Yeah, yeah,
interesting games.
yeah. And Petrosian usually did well. I think the 2 players that actually gave out more problems were Petrosian and Kortnoy.
Mm,
Uh, the two were great defensive players, and they
mm,
were willing to take material. And they didn't panic at all. They
mm,
really like, for example, Kortnoy is famous for uh, taking dangerous pawns, or at least dangerous in appearance, and then just calculating very well, very deeply, and just end up being up
oh,
material.
oh, so he's
That was the specialty of his.
materialistic. Oh, he sounds like my type of player. Yeah,
He was a palm grabber.
yeah.
Yeah, he did great. uh, well, this is the opposite. Now you are attacking here. This is game Casimsano and Anwar, a very top game. uh, it was played in Argentina
Mm,
in the San Luis World Championship. It was a World Championship tournament, which
mm,
was won by Topalov. Uh, that was strange that there was a tournament. It was by the time when FIDE and
yeah.
the PCA, I guess it was, were trying to reunify the title. So
Hmm.
uh, there were some experiments there. Uh, this tournament was a try. Um, yeah, this is where Topalo became world champion. And well, White is attacking, but the position is a bit messy. Black also has some active pieces, and the White King is also a bit open. Um, so our only way here to get by is by concrete calculations. What do you think White should be considering?
So the first move that I'm scared of by black is that the knight coming in on f3, um, like a whole family fork there. But I think before that, I think white has queen, or the move I'm looking at is queen e7, because well, first of all, I think he has to take back other, because I don't think he's got any type of, I don't think he has any type of mate or gets enough compensation by giving us a check first. I doubt. I just can't
Well,
see.
he's in check
Oh yeah,
after
he's in
the
check anyways, right? Yeah. So okay, so he's got. Yeah, but that's kind of what I was looking at. I mean, I'm just not vocalizing it right, but I was looking at check. What I was trying to say is if he doesn't take with the queen, I was looking if he could then follow up if we took his queen. That's what I was looking at. But I don't think that works. So if we go queen e7 check and queen takes, rook takes, what I like is that the rook on d2 is hanging. But if the king goes to f8, okay, so
Yeah.
king f8. Just wondering there. Okay, it looks like we probably want something better than this, because we could possibly play a move like rook e8, check, and I think we're doing okay there. But you probably want something better than that.
King.
Yeah, then rook takes d2. Oh, sorry, after king takes, then we go bishop h5 check, followed by rook takes d2 check. But we're only marginally better there, I think, if at all.
Yeah, we keep the material equality,
Yeah.
but
You want something more.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, Kasim Sanov, after the game, said, I was stuck here for a long time and I couldn't find anything concrete. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, his intuition was great. He said, I have a very centralized position. All my pieces are great. His pieces are scattered in some very strange situations. The knight on h4, the rook is pinned. The rook on d2 is virtually hanging. I mean, only the queen defends it, and he couldn't find anything because this variation is very critical, of course, because every piece is hanging. So this should be calculated up to the end. Your rook e8 move should be best here, because if we take immediately, then this intermediate move is annoying, and black might be even a bit better thanks to his better structure now. Though it's probably draw, of course. So, well, thanks to king f8 here, black survives this at the very least. So, queen e7 is not a solution. Queen c7 is another check.
I looked at that. That was actually the very first move I looked at, but I didn't like it. I just thought simply like rook f8, and I didn't quite know what we're going to do after that.
Excellent. Queen c7, rook f7, and you have to repeat probably, because knight takes f3 is still a threat.
Yeah.
And yeah, you give the same check, and we get back to the same position.
Yeah, and then I started looking at c3, severing the queen from the rook. And I was still looking at that. I'm not. So like c3, queen takes b2. The difference is then maybe we can go back with queen e7 check. Queen e7 check, rook f7. I think we're fizzling out. Yeah, okay. But I want to look at that again. So c3, let's say rook takes b2.
c3 here, rook. Queen takes b2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Wait. But then rook b1, suddenly we're x-raying b7, which looks pretty good.
Yeah, but you have to be careful with.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, I was hoping he won't notice. But because I was liking that idea, that was starting to look pretty good. Like I like this idea, but yeah, black still has that pesky knight. Oh, but let's see if this can work though. c3, queen takes b2. Yeah, he sees that. I wonder if we can still do it though. Rook b1. Yeah, rook b1. Yeah, rook b1. And yeah, so even if he takes here immediately. We can take and he can give us a check, but so what? We just go to h1, and if he gives a check again, uh, we can just take with the queen, and then we have a really strong rook, and I think we're up a pawn, and I don't know, it looks pretty good for white.
Well, good. That's what I want to see. You're really getting into calculating precise variations and very concrete. C3 is interesting. I mean, you're hitting the queen, you're hitting the rook. That is loose on d2. You have to consider two things. If you're going to take right now, or if you want to play queen takes b2. Uh, Apparently, queen takes b2 is all right because there are no checks that actually allow you to give an extra check with this bishop. At least I don't see one. For example, queen e7, you still have rook f7. And queen e5, you go back. And queen c7, it's the same. Rook f7 and queen e5, rook f6 again. And it seems like you can't make this bishop do anything useful. So this should be okay. And here, rook b8. You mentioned rook b8 here. Yeah, rook b1, I'm sorry. Rook b1. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. If knight takes on f3, g takes, and the fact that the queen is defending h2 comes in handy. But rook takes g2 is unfortunately very strong. Uh, Also, it appears you have to go here.
Yeah.
And now there's a nice little trick that black can pull off.
Oh, he's threatening a mate. Yeah, he can take here, and it's threatening a mate here. So if we take the queen, yeah, he's got.
Well,
Actually,
he isn't because the queen is still defending. So knight takes f3, you
yeah.
have rook takes.
Oh, okay. Yes, okay. Okay. So sorry. It's black's move here. Okay. I'm trying to think if he can go if he can go check, take, check, take, check, um, and it looks kind of
Excellent.
equal. No, black is up 2 pawns, I think there. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. I think that is the most clear cut solution. Well, this is absolutely the only move. Otherwise, queen f2 is going to be checkmate. And you end up liquidating all the pieces. And you have two extra pawns. Now you're winning rook f5. Well, no, I don't know, king f7, and it's probably an easy win. Or yeah, it's two extra pawns. So c3 doesn't seem to cut it. I mean, after queen
Yeah,
takes
I that rook.
b2, you
Yeah, that rook move really. I did not consider that. The rook. What was it? Rook takes. Rook takes g2. Was it?
yeah, rook a2, and all the net of forks there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So c3, well, after queen takes, you still have perpetual check if you want, queen e7. But yeah, white was trying for more.
Yeah.
Well, as you see, it's not easy to find anything else. But you got some valuable information here. For example, on some instances, you can give up the pawn on g2, which looks scary, but if black isn't checkmating you, then it might be your turn to turn up the heat and end the attack. Uh, that's what Kasim Sanov discovered after going through all this, probably going through all these sort of complicated variations and don't yield a good result. Uh, he reasoned, hey, I can give up the g2 pawn right now and bring another piece to the attack.
So what if we get rid of that that rook that can defend on f7 and maybe play bishop h5?
Excellent. This is a great idea. Here, bishop h5. Really tough to find. I mean, it took none other than Kasim Sanov a good deal of time to, to get used to the fact that he can give up the g2 pawn. I mean, if you're afraid, there's no way, not in a million years, you would play bishop h5. This is a very concrete approach to the position, and he reasoned, hey, I have very active pieces. His king is practically dead, but I can't seem to get my pieces around and checkmate him. With a bishop on h5, well, it's a great addition to the attack. No king g6 anymore, no king f7. Well, it's black's turn. It's not easy to defend anymore. Now you're really threatening to play queen e7 because after king f8 you're going to have rook e8 check, and then this rook is hanging on d2. So, well, an uncoded defend effectively. Well, the most important variation, of course, is rook takes g2, king h1, and now what? Now, how do we live here if it's possible at all? You're threatening to play rook d7, for example, and it's and it's the end. You can't go rook d2 because what we saw, queen e7 check, and after the trade of queens, you have this intermediate check. So now this just, well, it must fail. It might fail because of other moves too, but on this occasion, we have that bishop on h5 that does all the work, and we have this, which we didn't in the starting position, and then bye-bye rook. So queen rook takes king h1. He has no defense. I think Kasim Sanov gave a variation like queen f8, well, to have some support for the rook, but then rook d7, of course. King g8, and now what do you play now?
Can't we just queen takes f6?
Yeah, excellent. This is it's the prettiest way at least.
Yeah,
Queen takes,
and then
rook
rook e8, and then we double up those rooks.
well, if you
I guess
double up the rooks,
oh, then he's got. Then he has rook f2.
yeah, or he gives up the queen for a rook, and
Oh yeah.
material-wise, he's well more than fine. He's pawn up. Next move, the next move is important. The combination. We want the full queen.
So I'm thinking bishop f8, bishop f7 check.
Excellent. This is great. King g7 only move, and then you only have to go back. Probably take the pawn.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was just looking bishop h5 again, but actually, what about even
yeah, you need
bishop? What about even just bishop d5?
Should also work. You're capturing that queen, so
I mean we're on the rook too.
Moves, you just take the queen, and it's an extra rook. Yeah, it's a nice try. Rook takes bishop before. Yeah, but yeah, it's a cheeky move. This,
but here we're also taking we're hitting everything though, because I guess we're already hitting it with the rook. But yeah, I mean this is dead, hopeless for black.
Yeah, the extra rook and the attack that is still going. yeah, it's just too much. This bishop h5 can't be done without raising above phantom threats because I mean it's hard enough to give up the pawn on g2. Uh, it can only be done. I mean, this prejudice that hey, that's a threat when we still haven't well calculated or checked if it's actually a threat affects everyone. As you see, Kasimzanov have had some trouble finding bishop h5 because, of course, uh, I mean, even visually, we notice that the bishop on f3 is defending g2, and we don't. The first thing we think about is not bringing the bishop away and then just giving up the pawn. Not at all. It's a hard concept to grasp, uh, but it has to be in your arsenal. I mean, it's something that one has to get used to doing. I mean, checking if threats are really threats. So, well, Anand didn't actually take on G2 because well, he realized that it didn't lead anywhere, and Rook D7 check is just fatal. He played Knight G6, but it doesn't work out either. Now you can just take. And there are no more threats by black, and the black bishop, the black king, I'm sorry, is completely exposed. Uh, and I took on d1. If you take on g6, what do you think happens?
Yeah, well now I think we can. Now we can place. Well, can we? No, because I was looking at c3 again, but there is a queen takes b2. So yeah, I don't think that works. Um, Queen e8 looks kind of good. Queen e8. Queen e8
Yeah,
looks strong.
yeah, that's the point. The king actually became checkable. Now you have effective checks. Well, with heavy pieces over the board, this king is probably not going to survive the onslaught. And if king g7, rook e7, now you have access to e7, and
Yeah.
it's virtually checkmate. King f5, queen e4 is a nice checkmate. Very nice checkmate. Well, there are not many other options. You can go rook f7, but it doesn't seem like it should hold.
Yeah, I think just rook e6 check.
Rook e6 check, king g7. Yeah, we only have to be careful not to run out of checks.
Well, wait. No, but rook e6 check. Oh yeah, king g7.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
sure how
I
you
don't know.
follow
Yeah,
that up.
we might have to play rook to e1 after that, maybe. But we're kind of dwindling away after that. Yeah. Um. So rook f7. Well, I guess we could just put more pressure on that pin. Normally, if there's a pin piece, it's good to attack it. So we just go rook f1.
Rook f1.
Oh, sorry. I guess he can just take on d1. No, he can't. He can't.
No,
It's
yeah,
mate. It's mate. So
yeah, he
yeah.
can.
So I guess rook f1.
Rook f1 looks good. Um, yeah, because he can deal with both. queen takes f7 mate and rook takes d2. Apparently he can't. uh, yeah, this seems. Yeah, I guess this is strong enough. Uh, yeah, yeah, there's no defense there. Um, yeah, because if queen, yeah, queen e7, queen takes, and then you take on d2. Yeah, he can deal with the threat through two rooks. Yeah, great. Rook f1 seems to work out just fine.
Someone from the
Uh,
stream says, Mr. Sabon from the stream says, Rook F1, Queen C5 check.
queen c5 check, king h1.
He's saying if Rook F1, Queen C5 check.
Queen c5,
Yeah.
and then we go to h1. Oh, good point. Now there's this
Yeah.
resource
Rook DF2
which
is
we
okay.
missed. Oh, okay. Back to the drawing board. uh, yeah, so maybe we keep giving checks then. Queen g8, so that we keep him busy with the defense of the rook on f7. Uh,
Yeah, Queen G8. Yeah, because that
yeah,
rook is getting tired. It's going to have trouble defending back and forth here.
yeah. This looks like it's about it because he can't go to the f5 because of rook f1.
Yeah, and then there's these lateral checks too that are coming.
Yeah, now you get this rook e6 check in. If he goes to
F5. What
h5,
about F5?
you have queen,
What
and
about?
f5 you have queen rook f1, and it's
Oh
checking
yeah.
already. Yeah,
Yeah.
almost. Yeah, yeah. We keep checking him. Well, he can't uh, keep his king near the rook forever. Apparently, yeah. Queen g8 is apparently the best. Uh, So yeah, it's pretty clear that he can't get away with taking because well, there are so many checks that uh, his king is so exposed that he should lose. Uh, the game actually continues. Rook takes d1, and Anand lost in similar fashion. Now he took on g6, queen e4 check. It's just a matter of coordinating the queen and the rook, and that king shouldn't survive. He has to go back, rook d7 check. And well, now he blundered, if you might, but it was lost already. He played king g8 and allowed this queen h7 check.
Wow.
Still, rook f7 still loses. So
Must have been time trouble.
yeah, he still has to be. I mean, white still has to find some accurate moves, but yeah, it was a tough defense, and yeah, he might have been approaching. A blunder is not that strange, even for an. Well, this in this situation, of course, you have to keep checking him until you you get his rook. Uh, this looks absolutely necessary. King g6, rook d6, or queen e6. Oh, queen e6. Queen e6 stronger. Uh, so you have to go back. And now, how do we win this?
So I was looking at Rook D8, King. Sorry, Rook D8 and King. Rook F8, and then I was looking at Queen E6, and
Yeah,
King G7. Um, trying to
that
get
dominating again. Yeah.
Uh, king. Oh, king g7. Then we can go. Wait, can we go? Okay, well, sorry. Rook d8, rook f8, queen e6, king g7.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying.
This queen is already in a dominant position. The king is going nowhere.
Yeah, but
So
I'm not. I'm looking for a follow up there. I'm wondering. Um,
you get the 7th rank. That's important because the rook is on f8.
yeah, so I'm just. What would we go back? What, rook d7 again?
Yeah, and it's check. That's a good thing. And checkmate.
So
Soon enough.
the difference there is that our queen is on e6, right? Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and now queen takes it's checkmate. Soon to follow. uh, yeah, with a couple of accurate checks, uh, it should be easily won. There's still this to check out, but
Yeah.
still, this is something that doesn't need. You don't need to calculate all this beforehand, of course. This is pretty clearly won. You only have
Yeah.
to find the right
Yeah.
check.
Rook h8, king g6, and then I think queen e6.
Queen e6 looks
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah.
Rook f6.
Then well, we could. I don't know. I was actually, that probably isn't good enough. I was thinking we would just play rook takes h6 there, but then we can't mate with the queen by itself. So
Yeah,
yes.
it gets complicated.
Yeah. So yeah, then it's a terrible end game. I hate queen and pawn end games. They're the worst, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at rook h8 check, king g6, queen e6, rook f6. I guess I'm thinking we can play rook g8, maybe
King
king h7. That's annoying.
Still a bit hard. Yeah.
How is he surviving there? Check, boom. Let's see, check.
Yeah, the solution isn't actually that simple. I'm not sure it's the only one, but there's one clear way uh, that is not so easy to see. Rook h8, king g6 is actually fine, I guess. And now we have him in a tough position, but queen e6, rook f6, yeah, still rook g8, king h7 is a bit annoying. But you can keep checking him. Like rook d7 that you went back, now you can't do it again. And now he can't go back because of
Yeah.
queen h8. You're actually giving some room to your queen. And if he goes to h5, then mate in 2. Well, in 3 if he wants to give up everything.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I thought we could. I thought we could do that. So. I wonder if this works. I wonder if we could play g4 and then c3. Well, maybe not. It still might be enough though. What do you think about that? G4 and then c3.
I wouldn't do it. Queen e7, I believe. Yeah.
What?
There's g4, king h4, c3, queen e7, so that you can't give check on e1.
Yeah. Oh, too bad. That was now you see how my mind works. It's weird. Okay, so mate in three. How am I missing this?
The good thing is that he can't go back. That's
Yeah.
one point in your.
Okay. Well,
It's virtually.
okay. I'm wondering. I'm wondering if we have time to play. It's a weird move, but I guess Queen G3. Okay, wait. Queen G3. He has Rook F4. Yeah, so that doesn't work. I don't know. I mean, the most obvious move here is G4. So G4, King H4.
Yeah, he's kind of using the king in an active way all of the sudden.
What if I wonder if we could play like Rook H8. Oh no. Well, yeah, Rook H8. So G4, King H4, Rook H8.
Oh, interesting.
He can't defend the H5 square. Oh, well, what if he plays H5?
Oh, rook takes h5, checkmate.
Is it still?
The pawn is already on g.
No. His king, you mean, is? Oh yeah, his king is too. Wait, no. So I'm looking at G4, King H4, and Rook H8, and then he plays H5.
But then rook takes h5 is checkmate because.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that seems to work, I think. G4, Rook H8.
It's funny that rook h8. It's a really complicated way of doing it.
Yeah.
I should check if it actually works, but it looks like a very fine move. This this rook h8 because you actually have this check here, queen e2.
I like to do things the hard way. Check.
But this is very interesting too. I mean, if this works, it's a fine ace. Oh, if this works, it's very pretty.
Because his queen can't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it works too. I was thinking about rook f4, but rook takes and queen e3. Oh, well, this could be a problem. This might be a problem. I'm not convinced though because this queen is still the prime.
Wait. What about c3 now?
c3.
C3 again. C3. I get my C3 in.
If we take. Then.
Oh, is it? Okay. Well, it won't be a mate, but we'll be up material. But yeah, queen e1. Or would we? No, sorry. Would we just give a rook check now?
Rook takes h6 first.
Yeah.
Rook
King
I have to run.
Ooh.
Oh, now I'm threatening f2. Yeah.
Yeah, cutting it close. Ooh, is he escaping? He's actually gonna mate us now. Oh, it's too bad. I don't think we can do it here.
It's tough to get. You have a perpetual queen e3, queen e5, queen e3.
Yeah, that's okay. That's too bad. Okay. Oh well. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like we might have to play the queen e2. Oh, but here, yes, here we still have a chance. Queen e1. Yeah.
Only move.
Yeah. Rook check.
Now rook check, only move.
Yeah.
uh,
Can we go?
move.
No. I'm looking at Queen E6 per pet. uh,
Yeah, I would. I'm very surprised that Black has a chance of surviving
yeah.
this.
Annoying.
Apparently, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure he survives this, but yeah, I can see how. Queen is 6
Yeah.
only move because Rook H3 is a threat.
Yeah. And I think we have to
How
go for.
about
I
that
think we have to go for per
auto pick?
pet.
Yeah,
Oh, actually, yeah, this won't make a difference. So if we take on C4, it should.
but there's still that. Rook F4, check again. So hard. It's really hard to guess what's going on there. There's so many checks. But yeah, it looks like Black is holding
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. I think we would have to draw here.
Yeah.
That's too bad, though.
No,
Oh.
we must have missed a lot of things
Mm.
on the way to this. Uh, but yeah, it's pretty clear that something bad should happen to this king, and actually Queen E2 is just.
Mm.
uh, but yeah, it caught my attention how difficult to make. I mean, after you see Bishop H5 and you realize that Rook takes G2 does nothing, it's pretty clear that Bishop H5 is the move. But uh, getting yourself to think in that way is just so tough because I mean, we are just thinking about well, the Bishop and F3 defense G2. Uh, one has to make that. Uh, well that
Leap.
yeah one has to be aware that sometimes a threat might not be
Mm.
so strong and that maybe we can allow certain uh, things that seem scary but maybe our counterplay is just stronger uh, that's like that advice that when your opponent threatens something, then you should try to find a way to ignore the threat. Have you heard about that?
No.
Uh, it means that your first choice should be well. He makes a threat. I react immediately in the way he expects to.
Mm.
Uh, Normally, if you can ignore the threat and make a greater threat of your own,
Mm.
if it works tactically, then most likely it's the move. Because of course, if if your threat is strong enough that you're ignoring his own threat, your opponent's threat, then it might be a very strong move itself, like
Mm.
Bishop H5,
Mm.
which is sort of amazing. uh, a tough move to find. But yeah, this is the kind of work that I recommend you. You should take some complex situations and try to calculate the farther and the deeper and the most thoroughly you can. That, along with pattern recognition, tactic exercises,
Mm.
should yield good results.
So when I do the woodpecker training, I run across there's some puzzles in there that are really really hard. I next time I run across a difficult one, I'm gonna send it to you. I want to send you a few and see what you think of them. You should enjoy
Yeah,
them. You should enjoy them because these are hand selected tactics from World Championship games. Um, and
I mean,
I'm
yeah, that's material.
yeah. I mean, and also, um, it, it also gives feedback, like not feedback, but it has notes on all of the different variations in the tactics, and so it's kind of useful because you can look at the engine lines, but it'll tell you in human words like why something doesn't work.
Yeah,
So
and I heard that it's very complete because sometimes it's annoying that you keep thinking, well, what happens if, and
yeah,
it's not in the annotations.
pretty much every line is has some notes on it, and there's in total there's about 1150 tactics, and you're supposed to just do them over and over and over again. I've been doing them in batches, so I've done I did 7 cycles of the easy section, and then I've done about 7 cycles of intermediate A. So intermediate is broken down into 3 sections because there's so many of them. So I've done intermediate A, and I'm currently on intermediate B, on cycle 2 right now, and the intermediate section, the way each section goes, they start in chronological order of the champions. So it starts with William Steinitz and so on. I just finished Mikhail Tal yesterday, which, oh god, his are they're brutal, man. They're brutal. And I think, who am I on now? Petrosian, I think. Was he the next world champion after Tal? Let me check.
Well, yeah, because Botvinnik again and then Petrosha, yeah. So yeah, Petrosha comes next.
Yeah, and then so when I start the third section of intermediate, then we're going to get to the more modern players. But yeah, I'm curious to send you a few of them and see what you think of them.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
I want to try my hand at them.
Yeah.
I usually pull out the board and set up the chessboard and.
Oh yeah. And there's a few in there that I really love. They're not particularly difficult, but I just find it so beautiful. One of them, kind of a motif that I don't do too, like, you don't find too often at my level, but a clearance sacrifice, I find those very beautiful for some reason. Just getting rid of a piece just so you can have access to that square. I think that's really cool. So there's
they're hard to spot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, thanks for the lesson again. It's been quite a while, and I look forward to our next one.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, and see you next week then.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Good night.
Bye, Tyler. Thank you. Bye.